Time is not a river. Time is a vibration. A garden explodes with red hibiscus, purple salvia, orange lilies, and drops of nectar glowing like liquid sunlight. The air looks still to the human eye, but inside that stillness, something moves faster than thought. A tiny blur enters the frame. Emerald, magenta, gold, fire. A hummingbird stops in midair, hovering in front of a flower as if gravity has forgotten its name. Its wings move so fast they become a halo, beating in a figure-8 pattern that bends the rules of flight. Forward, backward, up, down, still and moving at the same time. This is not just a bird. This is vibration wearing feathers. Every second is a lifetime of hunger. Every flower is a doorway. Every drop of nectar is fuel for a body burning at the edge of impossibility. The hummingbird lives in a world moving too fast for us to fully understand. Its heart can beat more than 1,000 times in a single minute. Its wings can blur into invisibility. Its body is lighter than a coin, yet it carries the energy of a storm. It looks fragile. But fragility is an illusion. The hummingbird is a warrior in a coat of jewels. It will chase another bird through the forest with the ferocity of an eagle. It will defend a feeder, a flower patch, or a territory many times larger than its body. It will dive from great heights, pull out at the last second, and turn danger into a display of joy. Small power, immense impact. This is the first lesson of the hummingbird. Joy is not weakness. Joy is force. Joy is motion. Joy is the refusal to become heavy in a world that keeps trying to pull you down. The bird hovers in the center of a storm of its own creation. A flower sways violently beneath the downdraft of its wings. Pollen dusts its forehead. Nectar flashes on its tongue. Without knowing it, the hummingbird becomes a messenger of life, carrying the future from bloom to bloom. It does not preach renewal. It spreads it. A flower opens. The hummingbird arrives, and the garden continues. This tiny creature lives on sweetness. But its life is not easy. It must feed constantly. It must measure energy with ruthless precision. A few missed meals can become fatal. A cold night can become a threat. A storm can turn the air into falling oceans. Raindrops fall like glass spheres. To a hummingbird, each drop is almost a moving obstacle, a miniature planet of water crashing through the air. Yet it dodges, adjusts, pivots, and returns to the flower. Agility born of the high-speed mind. Where we see weather, it sees timing. Where we see chaos, it finds a path. Then night arrives. The fast body must face the cold. The engine that burned all day cannot continue forever. So the hummingbird enters torpor, a strange state close to suspended animation. Its heartbeat slows. Its temperature drops. Its body becomes almost still. It descends into a shallow death to survive. This is the hidden side of joy. Even the brightest energy must rest. Even the fastest wings must surrender. Even the warrior of sweetness must become quiet in the dark. At dawn, the first light touches its feathers. The tiny body warms. The pulse returns. The eyes open. The vibration resurrects. The hummingbird stretches its wings and begins again. Every morning is a rebirth. Every sunrise is a second chance. The hummingbird teaches us that joy is not a permanent mood. It is a rhythm, a cycle of burning and resting, flying and stillness, hunger and fulfillment, night and resurrection. To live like the hummingbird is not to be happy every second. It is to keep returning to sweetness. It is to keep looking for nectar after the cold. It is to let the first light wake your spirit again. And the hummingbird's world is not only fast, it is also precise. Its feet are tiny and weak, almost useless for walking. This bird was made for the sky. It does not stroll through life. It launches. Its wings create lift on both the forward and backward stroke. That is why it can hover. That is why it can fly backward. That is why it can hang in the air like a thought that refuses to pass. Gravity is just a suggestion. The body becomes a living equation: speed plus balance, hunger plus control, delicacy plus power. A hummingbird flying backward looks like time itself is reversing. It approaches a flower, drinks, then retreats into the air without turning around. The only bird that truly knows the way back. Maybe that is why it feels spiritual. It reminds us that we can move forward without forgetting where we came from. We can return to old places without becoming old versions of ourselves. We can revisit memory, take what nourishes us, and still fly into the next moment. The hummingbird lives between seconds. A clock spins wildly, but the bird is already beyond the clock. A human watch ticks loudly, measuring the slow machinery of our day. But the hummingbird moves in another frequency. To it, we are the ones standing still. And perhaps we are. We wait too long to taste life. We postpone joy. We tell ourselves we will be happy later, after the work is done, after the problem is solved, after the perfect season arrives. But the hummingbird has no time for postponed sweetness. It drinks now. It lives now. It finds the flower in front of it. A human hand holds a tiny cup of sugar water. The hummingbird lands on a finger, almost weightless. The bridge between species is built on sweetness. For one moment, the fast world and the slow world meet. The bird's feet touch skin. The human holds breath. The vibration becomes intimate. And then it is gone. A flash. A spark. A memory. That is how joy often arrives. Not as something permanent we can own, but as something brief we must notice before it disappears. A hummingbird bathes in a misting fountain, shaking water from its wings like diamonds. It hovers near a red wind chime, curious about the human world. The chime rings softly as it departs, leaving a song behind. Joy does not always stay, but it always leaves a trace. In the desert, the hummingbird finds cactus flowers among thorns. In the mountains, it moves through thin air where the earth seems to touch the sky. Over streams, it follows silver threads of water. Near waterfalls, it drinks from the spray of the earth. In gardens, fields, forests, and canyons. It searches for the same thing: sweetness, energy, life. Even in harsh places, it finds nectar. That is the second lesson. Joy is not only found in perfect conditions. It can bloom in the desert. It can hide among thorns. It can appear in the spray of a waterfall, in the glow of a flower, in the smallest flash of color on a difficult day. A hummingbird perched on a cactus spine is the perfect image of this truth. The sharp and the soft, danger and beauty, pain and sweetness growing from the same place. The bird does not curse the thorn. It finds the flower. Hummingbirds also reveal how evolution creates strange partnerships. The sword-billed hummingbird carries a beak so long it looks impossible, built to reach deep flowers that other birds cannot access. The flower and the bird are made for each other. The shape of one calls forth the shape of the other. This is the quantum garden of life. Everything affects everything. The flower calls with color. The bird answers with motion. Nectar feeds the wing. The wing carries pollen. Pollen creates the next bloom. The next bloom calls the next bird. Joy becomes a cycle of exchange. Nothing is isolated. Even the smallest body is part of the whole design. And sometimes, the hummingbird must travel farther than logic allows. Some cross open water on migration, flying over the Gulf of Mexico on a body that seems too small for such a journey. The ocean becomes a desert of blue. There is no branch, no flower, no safe place to land. Only wind. Only fuel. Only instinct. A journey of hundreds of miles on a thimble of energy. This is courage beyond size. The hummingbird teaches that the strength of a spirit cannot be measured by the weight of its body. Some lives look small from the outside, but carry impossible distance inside them. Tiny wings can cross enormous emptiness. A tiny heart can survive a vast world. And when the storm comes over the sea, the hummingbird keeps moving. The test of the tiny spirit is not whether it avoids hardship. The test is whether it can keep its direction inside the wind. Indomitable. That is what it is. In the garden, a child draws a hummingbird with vibrant crayons. The colors are too bright, too wild, too magical, and somehow exactly right. The drawing flickers with life because children understand the hummingbird immediately. Joy is the first language. Before logic, before fear, before the world teaches us to be heavy, a child sees the tiny bird and knows this is magic. The inner child is a hummingbird. Keep it flying. The hummingbird's feathers carry another secret. Its throat may appear dark 1 second, then explode into pink, violet, emerald, or ruby the next. The color depends on angle. Light hits the feather. Nanostructures scatter it, and suddenly the bird becomes a living jewel. The color was always there. It only needed the right light. You are like that too. There are parts of you that may look dull in the wrong environment, gifts that only shine from the right angle. strengths that appear only when life asks for them, joy that returns when you finally turn toward the light. Change the angle. Find the sun. Let yourself flash. A hummingbird hovers near a mirror-still lake, and its reflection appears beneath it. The double flight, the visible bird and the inner bird, the body in the air and the spirit in the water. Balance of the soul. The hummingbird is not only speed, it is also reflection. It reminds us that a fast life without awareness becomes chaos, but a fast life with presence becomes brilliance. Live quickly if you must, but do not live unconsciously. Every wing beat matters. Every flower matters. Every second matters. At the height of the day, several hummingbirds fight over a feeder. The scarcity of sweetness awakens aggression. One bird dominates, becoming the king of sugar. Even joy has a shadow. Even beauty can become competition when the nectar feels limited. This is another lesson. Do not confuse hunger with abundance. When joy feels scarce, we fight for it. When joy feels infinite, we share it. The garden is wide enough for more than one wing. As evening falls, the hummingbird flies through gold dust, lavender fields, white lilies, and poppies. It becomes less like an animal and more like a moving spark from the heart of the sun. Its wings glow with their own light. Its path leaves an iridescent trail. The body is small. The frequency is infinite. Above the clouds, in imagination, the hummingbird rises beyond the material world. The atmosphere turns deep violet. The bird circles a distant sun. Its eye reflects the galaxy. Its heartbeat syncs with a pulsing nebula. One heart. One universe. Then the hummingbird dissolves into 1,000 colorful sparks, raining back down toward a garden. A child catches one in their palm. Their face lights up with wonder. The frequency is reborn. This is the final message of the hummingbird. Joy is not something we chase only for ourselves. Joy returns to the earth through us. Through laughter. Through presence. Through color. Through the courage to stay light in a heavy world. A hummingbird lands on a human heart. The heart begins to glow electric pink. Joy within. The true garden was never only outside. It was inside the chest. So when the world feels slow, heavy, and gray, remember the tiny bird that moves faster than thought. Remember the wings that draw infinity in the air. Remember the flower in the desert. The rest after the cold. The sweetness after the storm. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not postpone the nectar. Do not let time become a cage. Live in the frequency. Stay bright. Stay fast. Stay tender. Stay fierce. And when joy hovers in front of you, even for one impossible second, be ready. Open your heart. Taste the sweetness. Then fly.